Thank you all for joining us today for this webinar. My name is Dr. Mara Noemi Lopez. I'm the HSI Research Center Director, and I will be your facilitator for today. We will start by introducing the consortium. So the AZ HSI Consortium was established in 2021 by Dr. Marla Franco, Vice President of Hispanic Serving Institution Initiatives at the University of Arizona, and Dr. Rey Rivera, President at Estrella Community College. The consortium seeks to strengthen the individual and collective capacity of AZHSIs to intentionally support conditions necessary for Latinx student success in Arizona. So this webinar, along with many others we've hosted this year, will be available on our YouTube channel. Additionally, our 2023 annual report is available. Our 2024 annual report should be available in the coming weeks. So we're very excited to share everything that the consortium has done this last year, and we hope that you can learn more about some of the efforts that the consortium has been successful at fulfilling. So these are the QR codes that have links to access that information. Paulette has put that link also in the chat. So we'll now transition to our webinar. So we've been hosting various webinars throughout the year on diverse topics and inviting folks from AZHSIs. Today's webinar is named Say Yes to Success, Reimagining the Transfer Pathway. So join us to learn about the Yuma Educational Success Program, a Helios Education Foundation Initiative that was launched in 2020 as an innovative transfer program that reimagines student services for community college students intending to transfer to NAU. The YES program was designed to advance systemic change in post-secondary education retention, persistence, and baccalaureate attainment among Arizona graduates through a wraparound support services that have achieved a 52% transfer rate, with 60% of participants achieving a 3.0 GPA, a 90% retention rate, and an 83% graduation rate, more than double the national average. Today, we are honored to introduce our guest speakers. The Yuma Educational Success team, formed in 2019, has served over 500 students since the program's launch in early 2020. Our talented team consists of Marcy Hurtado, Director of Enrollment Management, Rocio Napoles, Enrollment Management Coordinator, Hannah Newton, Enrollment Management Coordinator, and Azaret Martinez, Student Recruitment Coordinator. Utilizing the Appreciative Education Framework, our teams promote a personalized support model that fosters a strong sense of belonging, provides early outreach, and access to support services that prepare students early for graduation and ensure students are on a pathway to excel in their chosen careers. So please join us in welcoming our amazing guest speakers for today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marcy Hurtado, and I'm the Enrollment Management Director for Northern Arizona University. Excited to join you this morning on this webinar with my colleagues and my fellow YES team. I'm going to actually allow them to quickly go around the room to introduce themselves very quickly.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Azaret Martinez, and I'm a Student Recruitment Coordinator Senior based out of Yuma, Arizona. Thank you all.
All right, and good morning. My name is Hannah Newton, Enrollment Management Coordinator, also based here in Yuma.
And good morning, everybody. My name is Rocio Napoles. I'm an Enrollment Management Coordinator here at NAU Yuma. And I just want to do a quick shout out because I was keeping an eye on the chat. Pima Community College, Mesa Community College, Estrella Community College, Central University, Arizona, University of North Colorado. That was surprising. Phoenix College. Thank you all so much for showing up. I hope that you love our presentation today and that you really enjoy and take away so much from this webinar.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll go ahead and allow our colleague Hannah Newton to go ahead and share her screen. While she does that, I just really want to share we're hopeful to really share some valuable insights that we've learned in implementing the Yuma Educational Success program, but also we really want to allow an opportunity to have some valuable discussion along this journey of this presentation. So feel free to use the chat. And again, we really appreciate the questions you have, and we really want to enhance this experience for you all. All right, we'll go next slide.
Thank you, Marcy. Once again, welcome everyone. Whether you know Yuma to be another stop on your way to San Diego, or maybe by the movie 310 to Yuma, it is truly the gateway to the great Southwest. It's a city full of sunshine, history, agriculture, richness, with its prime location between and near California and Mexico. Yuma offers unique blend of desert landscapes, cultural experiences, and outdoor adventures, although sometimes I beg a different since it's really hot here. But it is a perfect starting point to explore the wonders of the Southwest. Now, Yuma County has a rich and diverse demographic profile, as we could see here on the screen. The county has a significant Hispanic and Latin population, making up 61.1%. In turn, 55.5% of the student or the population, speak a language other than English. And a majority of the time we see the population speak Spanish in our area. And of course, noting that we are near that border with Mexico. Now, in terms of education, 90.2% of our graduates from Yuma Union High School District, graduate from Yuma Union High School District, but only 28.2% hold a high school diploma or equivalent in the county, whereas only 24.1% of our population complete some college but no degree, and 17.4% hold a bachelor's degree or higher in the county. Given that Yuma County has several post-secondary education pathways with Arizona Western College, NAU, ASU, and U of A, with the YES program, we aim to enhance college attainment and success for students in Yuma County by partnering with Yuma Union High School District and Arizona Western College.
All right, and as Astrid introduced some of our partners, we wanted to make sure to put on the screen for you the institutions that came together in order to make the YES program happen. So on the screen right now, you will see Helios Education Foundation, Yuma Union High School District, Arizona Western College, and Northern Arizona University. I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about how all of these institutions have one thing in mind, and that is student success. So what we want is to provide opportunities for the students here in Yuma, all the way from when they graduate high school, and try and ensure that they have that success not only in attaining their bachelor's degree, but in also finding themselves working within their field of career after graduation. So we have all of mission statements, ambitions on the screen. So go ahead, take a moment. We'll be sharing the slides as well. But just bringing it back together to, like, in order for a program such as the YES program to come to succeed, we want to make sure that the partners that have come together have that one common goal in mind, because then that's what keeps pushing the program forward to reach that one goal that they've come together for. Oh, Marcy, you're still muted.
Thank you for letting me know. And as Rocio shared, really our partnerships have been a critical component with the Yuma Educational Success, really bringing together this powerful synergy of us working together. We know this work cannot be done alone, that we need our partners highly involved. And we really want to give a big shout out to the Helios Foundation, as well as Arizona Western College and Yuma Union High School District, really showcasing that we are in this together to really support students on their journey towards college and career. If you look on the screen here, again, our program is really developed to support the recent high school graduates of Yuma Union High School District. into the Arizona Western College Community College pathway, as well as our intention is to have the student transition to NAU, and when they graduate, be ready for the workforce. Now, our mission and our vision, we're really passionate about this because as this project initiated, we really got together and we had a leadership team from all of our partners come together and create a steering committee. And so that steering committee was really guiding us along that journey. But the implementation that was happening on the ground, we created an advisory committee, and that advisory committee would help advise us along the journey, which also included some of our success programs like the camp, the TRIO programs. We also had others that are in all of the service areas around campus get involved. So we really had a wide range of advisors helping us build this project and this program. And really, this mission and vision statement was developed by the advisory committee, and we're really proud of that mission and vision that has come out. We are co-located on the same campus as Arizona Western College. So again, allowing students to easily be able to access both AWC and NAU services. But really what we found in this project is the idea of the why. One of the upcoming opportunities that we've recently, because this project has been very successful, is the work that we're doing with the Aspen Institute. And so Aspen Institute, what we really do is we are involved in a transfer cohort with our partners, Arizona Western College. And the goal is really to focus on equity and success for transfer students. And the YES program has been acknowledged as a best practice model. And so in this work that we're doing, the why is, and I'll read this out because I think it's very powerful. 80% of students start at a community college aiming for a bachelor's degree, 80%, but only 16% of students achieve that in 6 years. And so it's very powerful, the work that we can do in the transfer sphere of really helping students and saying we have some more work to do to really support and make a difference for our transfer students, because we all know we know education transforms lives and it changes and it will support our families, and our students have goals and dreams and we want them to achieve that. So that is very much a really big component of the work that we're doing and we continue to do as we get better at the work continuing on. So I'll move on. We're gonna have you watch a quick video.
Welcome to the YES program. Yuma Union High School District has partnered with Arizona Western College and Northern Arizona University to give support to high school students on their journey to earning their bachelor's degree. With the Yuma Educational Success program, you'll be supported every step of the way and graduate ready to start your career.
The most valuable part about being a YES program student is the support that I receive from the team, the learning specialists, and our program coordinator give us the support that we need as college students, as well as the opportunities that they bring to us based on our major. I'm a psychology major, and they're giving me the opportunity to go to a conference at San Diego.
I'm a first-generation student, so coming in, this is completely new to me and my entire family. The YES program has always been ready to help with everything, and when I'm stressing, when I'm scared of something, I always know that they're there to help. So the transition from high school to college, it made it easy.
I was a senior in my English class, and my English teacher, she put the YES program ad onto the board. They said they would offer scholarship money, and then with all the activities, I wanted to be prepared for college, and the summer bridge really helped me. That's how I heard about the YES program, and I'm very glad I did.
The YES program grabbed me and helped me realize my goals, because I didn't know that NAU Yuma had a biology degree here. My hopes and dreams beyond college is definitely staying in my community and become a young leader and give back to those first-generation students that also need the help to get to higher education.
Students in the YES program have access to peer mentoring, admissions help, life skills workshops, and social activities, and academic goal planning, among more. Current and future graduates of Yuma Union High School District attending Arizona Western College full-time who intend to graduate with a bachelor's degree from Northern Arizona University are eligible for the YES Scholarship Award. To learn more and apply, visit nau.edu/yes.
All right, folks. With that, you heard some wonderful things from our YES student participants. So with the process and how students could qualify for our YES program is starting off with that general criteria when we are helping our prospective students is one, did they graduate from a union high school? Are going to enroll full-time at Arizona Western College after they graduate from their high school and have that intention, very important, that intention to transfer to NAU to complete a bachelor's degree. For participants, they must maintain also a 3.0 GPA, that is a cumulative GPA from their high school courses. We do look at those transcripts as we onboard our students. We also verify their full-time enrollment at Arizona Western College. Students also have to complete the annual FAFSA application because, of course, we want to help and support with that monetary resources that are available to them. And students must participate in a monthly peer mentor meeting with a minimum one campus activity. We do host multiple activities on our campus, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth on those activities for our students. Now, how do we onboard our students and that recruitment process? I've been lucky enough to be brought on to the YES team to help with the recruitment process. And our recruitment process has evolved throughout the years since the program has started. We are looking at this model of helping students from early on with high school visits, going into the high school, meeting the students where they're at, doing visits and events that our high school and communities host. That could be throughout the day, through their class periods, and hosting sessions where we focus and talk about the transfer pathway. As we know, sometimes students want to stay local and then make that transition off to a four-year institution. We also help students and with the recruitment process at the campus partners because we are co-located with Arizona Western College. We have easy access and access to all of their campus events and community events. We also want to make sure that we are recruiting out to the community more in a centralized location, once again, meeting the students where they're at. So we do get a lot of intake contact cards, like we like to call them, for prospective students who are looking at that pathway of staying locally at Arizona Western College and that intention to transfer to NAU. Once we get that interest, those intake forms, contact cards, we ask students to sign up for a YES info session. We host these info sessions both virtual and in person to make sure that we are giving students easy access to these sessions and different timeframes so that we could work around their high school schedule, and if they're taking classes at the community college early on, making sure that we are meeting their needs and their availability with these info sessions. Now, if a student cannot attend one of these info sessions, we do offer the option of one-on-one appointments with either myself or one of our YES program team members to make sure that they are understanding what is required of them to join the YES program, as we do have specific criteria, as I mentioned early on, and those requirements to continue and move forward with the program. Now, new upcoming this fall 2025, we will be starting a new initiative called our YES Sign-In Day. So we'll continue with the same model of recruiting our students, getting student interest with not only myself, but our True Blue ambassadors. I cannot do this all on my own and the YES program team, but we do have wonderful ambassadors on our team that help promote our YES program. So we'll be hosting that YES Sign-In Day. We'll be actually inviting them to campus for a bigger event to sign the documentation required and join the YES program. Just a fun way to celebrate students' accomplishment, because in itself, graduating high school is a big accomplishment, and enrolling into classes that first semester is a big accomplishment. So we want to make sure that we are celebrating them at each stage and getting them excited for the future with the YES program.
All right. And I want to bring our attention a little bit into how the YES program came together when it came to staff. So right now on the screen, you're seeing or NEU Yuma Student Service Team organizational chart, and you're seeing a lot of names on here. But firstly, I want to state that when the YES program just started back in end of 2019, 2020, it was 3 full staff members. It was Marcia Hurtado, who was our director, myself as program coordinator, and then we had learning specialist, back then Dawn Winery, now Hannah Newton. And it was the 3 of us. We had a small team of peer mentors, student employees, and a small team of study skills. And that's how we came together and began exercising the YES program and trying to attain all of the goals that had been set to the program to showcase our student success, and really trying to make sure that we were doing what we set out to do. As we came to a close on our first cycle, if you want to call it that way, as we were meant to run for 3 years, I believe, our success really spoke for itself, and we were given the opportunity to turn into the powerhouse that you're seeing on the screen today. Out of our experiences as director, coordinator, and learning specialist, as we kept meeting with students, and we'll move a little bit into our services provided, as we kept meeting with students where like students are confused about how their credits transfer. They're just so confused that they don't understand they need somebody to assist. And out of that, Cynthia Camacho's position as pre-advisor was created when we were given the opportunity to grow as a program. And it was all of this feedback that we got with working with our students that really led to the org chart that you see on the screen today. And like really, it's truly a powerhouse. And it was really exciting to see that out of that success, we were able to get more full staff members to better serve our students. So I'm going to go ahead and move on over. If you want to come back and have me explain the org chart to you, I will, but I will move on over to services provided, and then I'll try to connect to our staff members as I go through. Like as I mentioned earlier, and team, feel free to prompt me if I take a little too long. But as I mentioned, we do provide a lot of one-on-one meetings. I think the biggest thing that was really successful with our students when we started the program was the idea that we said, I'm here whenever you need me. If you are confused, there is no wrong question. And if I don't know the answer, we will find it together, right? Because it could be that maybe it wasn't within my realm or my department, or that we had to do a little bit of research on what our students were asking about. But it's that confusion that a huge majority of our students are first generation students, and they had so many questions about college that they didn't understand how financial aid worked. They didn't understand how scholarships works, what were grants, and even more so, they were unprepared for the transition to college, in the sense that college was going to be different from high school. And when they make that transition, they realized, oh, this is different. This works differently, and I'm not really sure how to navigate. So that's where the one-on-ones came into play, because they would meet with us and they're like, I'm really confused about this. And then we would be able to like, okay, let's talk about it, or let's refer you to where you need to go. And they really created deep connections with our team, and they knew that they had somebody on campus that could provide them that assistance to try and find the answers that they needed. It wasn't just about, we'll talk about scholarships in a little bit. It wasn't just about the financial scholarship that we were providing at that point. That was a huge incentive for our students to come into the program. But then once they realized the connections they could make with the staff and the resources they could learn about, it just became so much more. When it came to academic support, our workshops, we would host academic workshops. We would go ahead and offer academic support through our study skills, or by referring through Arizona Western College Success Center, high impact practice opportunities. So many of our students have participated in internships, Disney experience. Like they really went out there, and it was more about not that the students could always do it, but they had that hesitation. They needed that one member of the staff to push them and say, like, why aren't you applying for this? And it's like, I don't think I can do that. I was like, yes, you can. And like, just that little bit of support got them to submit applications for so many things that they wouldn't have participating in. Otherwise, we've had students go to Italy on study abroad opportunities, and it really broadened their horizons to say, like, I come from this little small town in Yuma. What business do I have in Italy? And then they come back and they're like, I don't know what I was so afraid of. It was amazing. It was the best experience ever. And I just needed to know who to talk to make it happen. Um, we offered peer mentoring, so go ahead, making sure that our students had a peer-to-peer support in the sense that our peer mentors had already gone through the experience way more recently than we had as staff members. We're not going to talk about when we went through the experience, but our peer mentors had just gone through that. So they were able to tell our students like, hey, I know exactly how you're feeling. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about things that we could do to better our experience or to perform better in our next semester or to better prepare for that exam. Social activities, it was extremely important that our students created a sense of belonging within the YES program, within Arizona Western College, and within NEU, because they not only saw Arizona Western College, but they saw NEU constantly throughout their journey, and they really were like, I am so excited to transfer and finally be at NEU, because it's been so embedded throughout my whole college career. And pre-advising, like I mentioned, a lot of our students, there's a lot of confusion. It's one thing to complete an associate degree at the college level, and it's another to say, will all of these classes serve me in the best way possible at university? And will I be meeting all of the prerequisites and requirements for my desired program of study? We had meeting upon meeting on this subject, and it was constantly coming up, which is where Cynthia Camacho's position was created. Career development, when we would have students come in and they're like, honestly, I'm not really too sure what I want to do as a career, and I don't know where to start. And all of this one-on-ones and checking ONET and checking other possibilities led to the idea like, hey, we need somebody to help students prep for career workshops. We need somebody to kind of offer guidance as to like, what are your interests and what could that look like as a potential career opportunity? And finally, financial planning. We were offering a financial scholarship, but we wanted to make sure that our students understood how to wisely use that money and how to learn to plan for the future. Like, you might be getting money now and you might be getting a refund for your community college. So what is the benefit in putting that money on a savings account for when you transfer to university? Because what's that difference of cost of attendance going to be when you make that transition? And all of these services came together to make the YES program and to really teach our students how to navigate college, how to navigate and transition. And then we were embedded with enrollment management services, which was amazing because at that point, when the student moves on to the point where they need to start their application to Northern Arizona University, it's now still the staff that was part of the YES program helping the students make those transition, making it just so seamless and so painless. And I've actually heard students, when we go through this, they were like, I was so scared, and like I thought this was going to be way harder. Like, it feels like I did something wrong because of how easy it was. But that's the goal, right? We want it to be so seamless that they're like, oh, I had nothing to be hesitant about because everything worked out. And I'm going to go ahead and move on over to our actual financial part of the scholarship, and I'll continue tying back as it's necessary. But our scholarship overall, it has shifted over time. When we started, it was $750 per semester. It was $3,000 for the 2 years that the students were at Arizona Western College. And when we were renewed, we were blessed with more money. So we said, like, we want to give them more. We want to make it more financially affordable for them. So our scholarship amount actually went up to 4,000, starting, I believe, 2023. And the way that it works, we talked about a 2-year timeline because we want them to complete whatever they need to complete at the community college within 2 years and then transfer and complete the remainder of their bachelor or their program at Northern Arizona Western College within the next 2 years. Marcy mentioned how sometimes 60% of the students that set out to get a bachelor's degree complete that within a 6-year timeline, right? So not only do we want to make sure that they complete their bachelor degree, but can we make this a timeline that is more beneficial to the students so they can enter that workforce at a faster pace? So that's what our program is made this way. And at first, we weren't necessarily told how to disperse out the money. So we went back and we decided we're going to split it semester by semester. And each semester, we check to make sure that our students are meeting requirements for the YES program before the next disbursement goes out, which makes our students maintain a certain level of accountability in saying, I need to make sure I'm meeting with my peer mentor. I need to make sure I'm going to my social activity. I need to make sure I'm passing my classes, because they're going to check all of these items before I can get my next disbursement the next semester. And it created a sense of belonging in the YES program and a sense of responsibility that our students said, I got to make sure I'm checking and labeling all of these items so I can continue to get my disbursements. But then that turns into, oh, actually, by doing all of these things, I'm making everything easier for myself in the future. Everything's getting set up for me. So then they did it without even the whole idea of the disbursement. It was just like, I just need to make sure I'm on track. This is helping me stay on track. We went ahead and created a Bookstore scholarship and a meal scholarship. I will say this was exclusively for our Summer Bridge participants. We did have a Summer Bridge program where we went ahead and invited students that were just graduating high school to spend 2 weeks out of their summer with us to kind of prepare them for the transition from high school to college. And part of the incentive for this Summer Bridge was that they would get a Bookstore scholarship for their upcoming fall semester, so they could apply towards their books and materials, and a meal scholarship during the duration of the Summer Bridge. This was an extremely successful program. Students have really come back and said, this really changed everything for me after I participated in Summer Bridge. We offer additional assistance through internal or external scholarships, and just getting students to understand, why do we want you to have a 3.0 GPA? Because 2 out of the 4 transfer scholarships require a 3.0 or 3.0 transfer. Why do we want you to be applying to university a year before you're even set to go? Because scholarship applications actually open a whole semester before, and it's exposure to all of these timelines and items that students needed to be aware of in order to have a more successful transfer and to have hopefully a better financial package once their transfer took place. We offered other incentives such as reimbursements for the PTK membership, their CLAP exam if they took CLAP exam to meet either foreign language or additional credits to complete a degree. CASPER exam was an exam that students had to take in order to apply for the nursing program. Fingerprint clearance, which for all of our students going for elementary school or any kind of teaching major, they're required to have their fingerprint clearance card. So that sometimes proved to be a financial hardship for students. Timely Care was a program that was meant to launch mental health into the limelight and make sure that students had access to mental health care through Arizona Western College. So if students activated their free Timely Care account, we want to go ahead and give them an incentive for that. I want to go ahead and make sure high impact practices, NAU transfer days, study abroad opportunities. I talked a little bit about this already, and other incentives such as every time during or social activities or any other event that we are hosting, we wanted to make sure that there was incentive drawing opportunities such as micro scholarships, or if you participate in or midterm grade checks, which are not mandatory, but if you participate, you'll be entered to get a pair of AirPods, right? Or you'll be entered to get a portable charger, or you'll be entered to get a study desk. And students are just submitting midterm grade checks left and right. And we're happy because halfway through, we get to see like all of our students are doing great. And if somebody is not doing so great, we can be like, hey, do you want to meet with the study skills? Do you want to meet with Hannah and talk about maybe what's going on with this particular class right now before withdrawal date comes through, or like what we can do to make sure that we improve this grade before the end of the semester. And this is how it all came together, not only with the suite of services, but with the scholarship to actually prove it's not just about giving students money, and it's not just about providing services to students, but it's how you group it together to make sure that the students also understand the benefit of participating in both, and that it's all for the better of their transition and their success. I do want to super briefly talk a little bit about how when we started, all of our students were Pell eligible. They were Pell, that was one of, or more like shifting requirements. But when we went ahead and started meeting with students and they were applying to this program, we realized that there really was a financial need for students who were not Pell eligible. There was a student that's in that peak, right? That kind of dictates that you do not meet eligibility, but they were struggling to come to college. They were struggling to pay for their classes. Their families were struggling to make that happen for their students. And as I continue to meet with students, I continue to advocate like, well, can we just provide scholarship based on the following prerequisites and still require FAFSA submission? Because we want to make sure that they understand FAFSA is not only about Pell Grant, but it's about other scholarship opportunities so that we can also tap into this other population of students that also need this financial assistance and could also benefit from the suite of services. So we went ahead and also expanded the YES program to those students that did not qualify for Pell, but met or Yuma Union High School graduation, met the 3.0, met all other requirements, and were willing to participate in the program. And I want to go ahead and hand it over to Hannah, who's going to talk a little bit about the appreciative advising model that we use when we were meeting one-on-one with our students.
Right. Thank you, Rocio. And as you'll see reflected in a lot of what Rocio just went over, especially in her discussion about some of the services that we offer to students, you'll see that really at the heart of all the work that we do with our students is this appreciative advising framework, which is a 6-phase theory-based framework developed by Dr. Jennifer Bloom, and itself is rooted in appreciative inquiry and having an appreciative mindset. And really being a practitioner of appreciative advising means that you, for every student that comes into your office, you're looking at them as the unique individual that they are, as the culmination of all of these unique lived experiences that they bring with them. And not only recognizing that they are unique and that they are an individual, but really celebrating that student's uniqueness and showcasing not just to yourself, but also helping the student realize the strengths that comes with being who they are. A lot of this work is reflected within the first 3 phases of the framework, which is where coincidentally where a lot of the hard work goes into. Those first 3 phases being the disarm, discover, and dream phase. Disarm is when you start making that initial connection with the student, and really trying to show the student that you genuinely care about them and that you genuinely care about helping them through their journey and achieving what it is that they want to do, and that they're not just another number or just another name on your roster. And so anytime you sit down with a student, you're not going to sit there and say, okay, I see that I've got your profile here. I see that you want to do engineering. I see that you've got a 2.5 high school GPA. You may have done not so poorly or not so great in your math classes. So that means we should get you connected with a math tutor. You don't want to initially jump into that type of conversation with a student because you're going to scare them. You're not going to show the student that you genuinely care about them as an individual, but rather that you're just trying to go through the motions and get them out of your door. Instead, disarming can be something as simple as taking the time to ask them genuinely, how was your day? It's the first day of the semester. How are you, or the first week of the semester, how are you enjoying your time here on campus? What has been your favorite thing about college so far? And even just the way that you decorate your office. So if you see behind me, I've got a lot of different knickknacks up in my office as a way to showcase to the student that yes, I too am a genuine human being and I don't just shut down at the end of the day like a robot. And it's a great way to start a conversation with a student when they come in, they say like, hey, I really like your sunflowers, or I see that you also watch Naruto. Like, what's your favorite arc of Naruto? And again, starting that, building that relationship with the student, which then allows you to get into that discover and dream aspect, where you're starting to get a sense of, again, what are the students' interests? Where do they want to go? Helping push them not just to the dream that they want to achieve, but then showing that they can take it one step farther, and that they're capable of more than what they even know, and then working one-on-one with that student to co-create a plan that's going to help them achieve that success. And again, you saw it in Rocio's discussion about our services. You also see it in just our intake forms. I'm not going to spend too much time on this slide, but we do have captured some of the intake forms that we work with students as they come into the program. On the left is the intake form that Azret uses whenever she meets with a student during an info session. And so you'll see that not only do we capture the students' demographic information, whether they qualify for the program or not, but that we're also starting to ask some of those probing questions of what are some of the areas that you're comfortable in terms of education, and then what are some of the areas that you want us to help you with when you come in and meet with us. And then on the right, we have the first page of what the peer mentors use whenever they meet with their mentee for the very first time. And there's, again, asking some of those probing questions of what are you majoring in? Why are you majoring in it? Where are you wanting to take that major? Do you have any commitments outside of school? And again, showing the student that you know that they're more than just an engineering major, nursing major, etc. And then, of course, we do throughout every semester offer a variety of social activities on campus for students to engage in and get connected. We want to show them that we know that academics are important, but so is building a thriving campus community. And so I just have a couple of pictures here on the screen of various activities that we have hosted throughout the years. Let me see. We have pictures of some of our vision board that our students made last fall. We also here in the upper left-hand square or circle, if you will, is some DIY Loteria cards that our students made in celebration of last year's Hispanic Heritage Month. We also have a ofrenda that our peer mentor and ambassador team put together in celebration of Dia de los Muertos. We have rock painting. We have pumpkin painting, we have DIY bracelets, Lego Day, and then up here in the right-hand corner is Jimena, who won a internship to Disneyland. And then, of course, we also wanted to highlight some of the main ways in which we connect with students and really help them understand what's happening in the program, and so that we can engage with them. The main way that we have been able to engage with them is through our Yes Canvas shell, which is hosted on our NAU Canvas. And so whether they are NAU enrolled or AWC enrolled, all Yes students have access to this Canvas shell, where they have access to all of our booking links, whether it's mine, Rocio's, Azucena's, who is our other enrollment management coordinator, the peer mentors, booking links, AWC advising, NAU advising. They have quick links to get them connected to upcoming social activities. They have this checklist of all of the items that they need to complete in order to make sure that they are cleared for their scholarship disbursement each semester. And then, of course, we also send out regular announcements to students through Canvas, just reminding them of upcoming activities that is going on in the program. Of course, at this point, you have heard our team talk a lot, but we also want to really promote to the voices of the students in our program, because without them, we would not be here. And so you will see two very familiar faces, Adele Corona and Carlos Puga, both of which were in the earlier video. They are Yes students, and they have also started working as peer mentors starting last fall, 2024. I will say I apologize in advance for the decrease in video quality. I am not a professional marketing department, but here we go.
All right, can you go ahead and briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Carlos Puga, and I am a peer mentor here with the Yes program. I'm a first-year psychology major for NAU Yuma.
My name is Adele Corona. I'm a peer mentor at the YES program, and I'm majoring in psychological sciences with a minor in sociology.
The YES program impacted me in a very positive way. It made me feel more welcome here to the campus. I definitely felt more comfortable, especially with all the support that I received from everybody. I always knew that if I had any questions, if I was struggling with anything, I could always go to the YES program, and they would help me out for sure.
As a first generation student, the YES program provided guidance when I felt very overwhelmed by my academic career decisions. They sat down with me and laid out the possibilities and options I had in higher education, which I wasn't even aware of. I didn't even know the term a transfer student, what it meant. And then, addition to that, the social activities helped me keep in touch with the team and was very beneficial when I had to ask some questions.
So my favorite thing about being a YES program student was definitely all the connections that I was able to make. I was able to meet Rocio, my EMC, who helped me all throughout AWC and even now at NNU. I was able to meet Dawn, my psychology professor, and I got really close with her because of the YES program. I met some of my best friends there. I met my future supervisor there, and my coworkers there too. So it helped me a lot for sure. So my favorite thing was definitely the connections I made.
My favorite part about being a YES program student is the sense of belonging they provide to us. When I joined the YES program, they offered a summer bridge program which really helped me just adapt to the environment here in college. And they're always looking for the best interest in their students. In addition to that, the diversity of people they bring together has helped me learn different perspectives of other students, and I think it's very beneficial for my education.
So I decided to become a peer mentor because I always wanted to work for the YES program. Since I met them, I wanted to work for them just because of all the support that I got and how comfortable it made me feel. I wanted to be able to give that to other students because I know college has a very scary reputation built up around it, and it's always scary starting something new. So for a lot of students, coming into college is terrifying, and so I wanted to be able to help comfort them and put them a little bit at ease. So that's why I decided to become a peer mentor.
So I was already working in student services at Arizona Western College, and I wanted to help students beyond the enrollment process, and that was exactly what the YES program was providing through their peer mentors. So I decided to join, and it has been a great experience since I've been able to give back to the program that helped me transfer to NAU, and I have created connections with students and shared my knowledge that I learned through the program.
Awesome. Okay, so I do want to be mindful of time because I want to make sure Marcy has some time to go over evidence of success. But on the screen right now, you do see Ivan's graduation message. He wrote to the YES program. Ivan was from what we called our pilot, right, or pilot cohort, and he came in wanting to be a nurse. And we saw him all the way through AWC to not only applying to NAU, but getting admitted into the nursing program and actually graduating from that nursing program. And he really expresses what a huge impact this made. And everybody always creates different connections with different staff members. And back in 2020, we all know what was happening there. And one of our staff members reached out to Ivan when he was going through a difficult situation. And he really expresses that that made a huge difference in him making sure he completed what he set out to do. But you all have copies of our PowerPoint presentation. Please feel free to go back and read this wonderful message, or if you had enough time right now. And I'm going to go ahead and let Marcy go through evidence of success right now.
Great, thank you so much. And Rocio, thank you for that. Again, for evidence of success, we really just want to highlight our participant satisfaction. We actually were able to achieve that at 95%, and that was through student surveys. Our cohort transfer rate is at 52%, which is 20% above the national average of 32%. So we're really excited about our cohort transfer rate. And the 3.0 GPA, 60% of our students achieve a 3.0 GPA or higher. And we really want to recognize also, like Rocio said, many of our students are also high achieving. So the 3.5 or higher, with really advocating and advising students on Phi Theta Kappa, and that transfer scholarship has been very critical in our program. We'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. All right, and service utilization. So 86% of our students are accessing our services and participating in activities. And that really goes to really say that they're meeting their program participation criteria. 90% of our students have a year-over-year retention rate are compared to our national average of 81%. So we really are excited about that. And now, since the program has been intact for several years now, we have already started to see what our graduation rate has been impacted with 83% of our graduation rate, which is more than double the national average of 39%. And just our last slide, our impact of our program has really been exceptional in terms of achieving high goals and outcomes. And again, this national best practice model, we're expanding it to our other statewide locations. And it's really our North Star. It's our guiding star that's helping us continue the work for transfer students. And we will continue to work again to sustain this project and this program where we're really excited about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for that incredible presentation, for sharing with us everything that you're doing, everything that you've built, everything that you've sort of curated, both organically and with the voices of the students. And also, thank you for amplifying the voices of the students. That was really impactful, moving, and touching, and just really an important aspect of the work. At this moment, I mean, feel free, anyone that has questions, would love a little bit more clarity maybe on anything that they've discussed, feel free to add that to the chat. I guess I'll go ahead and start just a few things that were marked for me. I think that something that I've heard over the years is like, I don't know how to get to students. How do we get to the students? Where are the students? We know that they may be on social media. We know that they may be not on email. It sounds like Canva has been the most successful tool that you've used to engage with students and communicate with them. How did you determine that Canva was the ideal method of communicating with students?
I want to go ahead and say that when we started the program, I do want to specify that meeting with our students, even whether it's an info session, whether it's a one-on-one, it has a huge impact. Like when we talk about the appreciative advising model, if the student is cued into these people actually care about what I'm trying to do, and they're not just telling me whatever they need to tell me. That made a huge impact in students actually wanting to tune in to what we had to say. Once again, building that accountability of like, these items need to be completed in order for you to be able to receive your disbursement. As we started sending out emails with notifications on here are our social activities, here are our workshops, I kept getting bounce back email after bounce back email, or I kept getting students telling me like, hey, you know what, like it just gets lost in my inbox. And it really prompted us to say, as Arizona Western College was moving from Blackboard to Canvas, to Canva, I was like, okay, so what would happen if we made a shell that would house all of this information where we could add students as they're added to the program, and they already go in there to check their classes every single day, right? Like it's just embedded now. Like if a student is taking classes, they're submitting assignments through Canva, they're doing all of this through so I was like, well, they're already going in there every day, and we want to make sure that they understand that the YES program is not just a scholarship, but that it is an entity in itself, a program that they are part of, and we want them to feel a sense of belonging. So we decided to test run this idea of creating a shell within Canva in order to see if students could see weekly announcements, and we could create different tabs and modules. We just got so excited. We're like, we could put checklist in there, we could put steps for FAFSA in there, we could put the social activities in there. And this way we're not just sending email after email, because they just get so exhausted with all of the communication that is going into their inboxes, even if we're just using their school email. So I think that's kind of what led us to try that out. And I felt like it was very, very successful. Marcy.
Thank you. And again, I'll take some other questions also in the chat. Summer Bridge was not mandatory. It was not a requirement. However, there was a bonus for students that raised their hand that wanted to participate. And we know that many of the high school students that are graduating also have vacation plans or things that they have with their family really scheduled. So just understanding that that experience can be short. It was a 14-day experience for us for that summer bridge. So even for students, again, gaining that scholarship for the bookstore, and then also the additional food scholarship was like, I'm in it, you know, and I know I'm going to be learning some things and getting familiar with some new friends early on. So it was not mandatory. And then the other question about the program coordinators, we have kind of this progressive mentoring model. So our peer mentors help our students very early on their first year, and they're kind of like really our supportive members of really connecting the coordinator if something is escalated or things, but then they progress into really meeting with the coordinator, and then we're still available, but every student is different. And so as we expanded our team, we had all these touching points for our students. So they didn't have to feel like they just had to go to that one person. They had a suite of services and different people that was all a part of their team. So they had a big supportive team, and they knew, hey, this is a team of maybe 4 or 5 pro staff individuals that are going to help me, and they know that each one will offer. Now, we will know as you start building relationships with students, they might have a favorite, and there's okay, right? But it's almost a way that as we work as a team, we know, hey, I know that you connect very frequently. This student is needing to make sure that they're completing this. Can you go ahead and mention that? And that's how our communication started really working through those building of relationships with our students.
And to add on to how many, usually our cohorts varied anywhere between 80 to 100 students. We're working on cohort number 5. And like Marcy said, I think we had to evolve. I talk a lot about our one-on-ones when we started because we were just getting started. And then we came up with like, okay, how do we still make sure they understand all of the requirements and that there's connection while still like maybe not having time for like a 1-hour meeting every single time. So then we evolved into the information sessions where we cover the material within 1 hour and do Q&A at the end. And then when we incorporated our peer mentors, now it's like it's mandatory to meet with your peer mentor, but we have 3 peer mentors active right now. And then the peer mentors make sure the students are meeting the milestones. And if they need referral to either a coordinator or pre-advising that gets done, like Marcy mentioned earlier. So you gotta evolve with your program. Obviously, as we grew and we started getting a lot of students, it's hard to keep doing things the same way, but how do we still offer quality while evolving the way we serve our students with the staff that we have?
And last question I do see from Angie. I'll let Hannah take this question in terms of supporting students with their math and English skills.
So when it comes to working with students in terms of their academics, when we first started, it was always connecting them with an academic specialist, which started off with Dawn Winery, and then I had the opportunity to step in after she got a full-time position with the local community college. And so anytime a student expresses either in terms of their GPA or themselves expressing that they're having difficulties with academics, the goal is to always be able to sit down with them one-on-one and really talk to them about what it is that they are having difficulty with, and then getting them and having a conversation to connect them with resources that will help them thrive in their classes. We try to avoid having sitting down and having prescribed conversation with students where they come in saying, okay, I got an F in my calc class last semester. Okay, that means you now need to go and attend math tutoring. Instead, trying and framing the conversation to push them towards that that what's the word? I'm sorry. That conclusion themselves, because we want them to have the sense that it's their idea, and that it's something that they're interested in completing, rather than it's something that the university staff or college staff is saying that they should complete. And oftentimes when we see that students are coming to that conclusion themselves, they're more likely to go out and not only utilize the resource, but then of course to continue using the resource. And then they're able to thrive in their courses at that point. I hope I answered your question.
Sounds like you did. Well, I just kind of want to reiterate how amazing this program is, how appreciative we are that you've shared this, amplified the voices of the students. another thing that kind of left a mark on me is how collaborative this work is, right? You mentioned at the beginning how important it was that the partners, that the advisors, that everyone was on the same page with regards to the mission, the vision, and the goals, and how important it is to do that to increase the efficacy of the work, right? The validity of the work, the collaborative nature of the work, and every iteration of the work moving forward. So again, thank you all so much for sharing the work, for answering the questions. A follow-up email will be sent to all registrants with the slides and the webinar recording. Feel free to follow us on all of our social media platforms and sign up for our listserv for future webinars and opportunities available. All this information will be dropped in the chat. And again, thank you all so much for sharing the wonderful work you all are doing.
Thank you so much for having us.